Hi there, it's Marianne Cantwell here from Free Range Humans, coming to you live from Bali. And this is my Balinese office for the next 30 days, and that's my hammock for relaxing situations. And down there is a huge amount of rice fields and a family of very noisy ducks that might be making a vocal appearance in a moment. Now, I just want to have a quick chat with you about how is this possible? How is it that I'm running my business on the other side of the world and regularly do so without a hitch and without it impacting my bottom line at all? Now, first up, as you already know, the biggest thing, if you're considering doing this, is creating a business that gives you that base. That base that means that you've made choices, often hard choices, that have meant that you don't need to be face-to-face if that's holding you back. That means you don't need to be in a particular location, that you've taken control and revamped it, as we've talked about in the article above. Ducks, awesome. Now, the second thing is, once you've done that, once you've got that base, how do you do it? What equipment, what systems, how does it work? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. And let me tell you now that right now, this is, without a doubt, the best time in history to be working location independently as a free-range human around the world. It's because the technology is there. What used to have to be done in a single office, full of papers, or even full of big computers, can now be done with basically one smartphone, a BlackBerry, iPhone, whatever, and one laptop and a couple of nice programs downloaded onto that laptop. And that's everything you need. So here are the things that I use to run my free-range business, and these are basically everything, seriously, that you will need to have in place in order to do this as well. I'm going to structure this video by the questions that people ask me about how do you manage it, how do you actually manage to run your business like this. And the first question I tend to get is about telephone. How do you do this without racking up huge phone bills, given that you're on the phone a lot? Well, first up, the answer is Skype. Skype is fantastic. It's free to download, and then you can upgrade to something called Skype Out. And Skype Out is awesome. It's a way of turning your regular free Skype, which is a computer-to-computer phone connection, into a virtual phone that runs off your computer and that allows other people to call a regular phone number. They don't even know it's a Skype number, a regular phone number, and talk to you. So currently, for me, my business number is an 0207 London number. Now, no one calling that, unless I've just told you, is aware that they are calling a number that I am picking up on my computer in Indonesia right now. From their perspective, they've just called an 0207 number. That's all they're getting charged, nothing extra. And where I pick up doesn't matter. And all you do is you get a Skype out and you get an online number, and you just get the package on there and you're sorted. And the best thing is actually that you can also call out. So I can call my dad in Australia, my friends and clients in London, random hotels in Laos to work out where on earth I'm going, and I'm just charged the same rates as I would be if I was calling from a landline in the UK. And that's something that you can pick up online without a problem. So your answer there is Skype. The next thing that I get asked about is internet. How do you make sure you have a good internet connection in Indonesia, of all places? Well, pretty simply. Even in rural Bali, where currently I can see people literally down there harvesting rice by hand, even here I have full Wi-Fi. In fact, the wireless internet here is stronger than my connection back in London. Seriously, it's actually faster in some way I don't comprehend. That's the first answer. The first answer is make a decision, if it's really important to you to have constant good internet, make a decision to rent a place that has it. You pay a bit more, but that's part of running your business. Secondly, you can also access internet in all around the world in cafes, either internet cafes or actually just regular cafes that provide free wireless. If you get desperate, hop to your nearest Starbucks, because they always do it. But a really nice local cafe will do it too. Thirdly, probably shouldn't say this, sneaked down to the local hotel's 5-star pool the other day. Internet everywhere. It's brilliant. Though I didn't actually endorse doing that, but just an option, just saying. So literally, you make a decision about renting somewhere, or you go to internet cafes or regular cafes with Wi-Fi. You'll be amazed. It's all around the world. The next question I get is, what about equipment? How do you pack up your business and put it in a bag? Okay, I'm going to tell you, there are 3 things that I use to run my business, 3 physical, actual things that you hold. One of them is this. This is my computer. This is the Free Range Central MacBook Air. This is where everything happens, guys. And it's tiny. It's the smallest computer I can find, the smallest Mac computer I can find. And Apple is not sponsoring this, unfortunately. I chose it because it is super light. I can sling it into a satchel and walk off down the road with it. It's super fast and super reliable. I previously used another computer, a Samsung Netbook. You can use any brand, of course, and that was fine. I just upgraded, so you don't have to spend a fortune. You can get a small netbook. Find yourself a decent small computer, sling it in your backpack, and that's your computer done. And make sure you have enough space on it for the files that you need. The second thing is it's a very special device that I use for accessing my emails, for doing videos, for my camera, and for just about everything else, and it is my iPhone. Again, Apple is not sponsoring this, unfortunately. Now, I can't show you my iPhone because it is currently filming this. Hi, iPhone. Now, I used to have a BlackBerry, and that's great. People use Android phones, other location-independent people. It doesn't matter about the brand, okay? So I'm not endorsing a particular brand. What is useful is having a smartphone that you've set up to be able to connect to all the things that you need. So currently on my smartphone, my iPhone in my case, I am able to access all my email accounts, obviously. I have Skype on my iPhone, which means that if I don't need to carry this computer with me everywhere. If I was going into another village for the day, I could have Skype on my iPhone and say, oh, 2 o'clock, I've got a meeting, I'll just turn it on in a cafe and go for it. You're on Skype, you're talking for free. Lots of other apps. I mentioned that a backup system on my computer. I use a system called Dropbox. Again, there are lots of other systems out there. What that does is it automatically backs up my files. So if anything goes wrong, I can access them from another computer. On the iPhone, I have a Dropbox app, which means I can open up any file I want that I've synchronized and be working and looking at it remotely. So the third thing I need that I like to use is headphones, because I like to have clear quality phone calls. So I chose a pair of headphones I bought from Amazon randomly. They're fold up, so they're about that big, and they fold up into a nice little package, and they have an inbuilt microphone for extra quality. Plug them into the computer and off you go. It got clear quality, as clear as talking on a regular phone, probably a bit clearer sometimes as well. And that's it. Seriously, that is it. It's the iPhone, it's this, and it's a headphone set. And in terms of putting it into your bag, that's all you've got. You've obviously got your adapters and your connecting cord and a charger, and that's all. So it's not something you have to carry piles of stuff for. It's probably cost less. It probably weighs less than a makeup bag. Really, really simple. In terms of other things that you need to have in place, well, you'll pick them up along the way. I could go long here on listing systems that you can use, but I've given you an overview, right? I talked to you about what you need physically to bring, about how to access your files everywhere, the fact that you set things up. You can access your email where you like. Put it on Gmail as well as a regular email provider. Some geek will help you with that. That doesn't matter really. What really matters is that you make the commitment to actually do this if that's what's important to you. But seriously, what's more important than the how do I do it is the how do I build up a business that is firstly suited to me. Actually suited to you. And that you've made some often very tough decisions, but decisions that will allow you to live the lifestyle that you want. Because let me say once again that it doesn't come naturally. You don't pick a business, unless it's a travel writing business, and go, well, that's going to let me travel. No matter what you pick, there will be barriers in your way. And the difference between the people who actually do it and the people who say, oh, I wish I could do it, but I can't, is that the first group took the decision to overcome the barriers. no matter what. And I know that sounds corny, okay? I absolutely, accept that. Unfortunately, it's true. List out what you think the barriers are in your way, business-wise, and how could you overcome them ideally, and how can you overcome them now? And that's what it's about. Now, final thing I want to leave you with is the big question: how do you afford this? Okay, do you want to know the answer? How do we afford this? Easily. Because it's cheap. You travel to a hot and beautiful country, and usually, unless you're choosing the Maldives, it is not as expensive as back home. So the amount we're spending to rent this 2-story beautiful villa with amazing Wi-Fi and a daily maid costs the same as renting a single room in London for a month. Crazy, huh? So that's the first thing. Transport. Choose somewhere central you can walk around. We also rented a scooter for about $40 or $50 US for the whole month. Again, compare that to London tube fares, or if you drive around to your petrol costs for your actual car. There's another comparison. Food. Oh my God, food. You can, even if you're not scrimping. Now, I'm not doing a backpacker budget here, okay? But, living the life I would anyway, but in a different setting. And even in that situation, I can go and eat at a really cute little cafe 5 minutes down the path near the Roosters, and pay about probably $5 US, about £3 or so English, for a really great meal. You can't top that. Again, compare the costs of that to just even buying dinner or buying the ingredients for dinner in your city, and you can go way cheaper if you choose to. So, see, my personal aim, and a good one to take on, is to be able to do this, to travel around for the same or less than it would cost me to live in my city for the equivalent period. So, I just telling you that as a, I guess, a grounding thing, because when we're working in I call our career cages, time away is a holiday time. Time away is something expensive. But when you are extending that over a period, you're able to get, firstly, way better rental deals. You're able to settle in and find out the options that let you live as you would like you were when you were at home. What we're looking at is living the same standard of life that you're used to, but in a setting that makes you happier. Are we good? Okay, so that's it. That is a crash course masterclass in the very basics of how to live and work anywhere. For more information, please go to the Free Range Humans website, which is www.free-range-humans.com, and get way more info there. And it's been great talking to you, and now I have a little pool to go diving in, so I will talk to you guys later. Bye.